Hi, my name's Charlotte and I'm a consultant at Duli Law firm in Italy. Here we specialise in cross-border property and inheritance transactions. We help non-Italian clients navigate the minefield that is the Italian legal system. Prior to joining Duli Law firm, I worked in the property industry in the UK for nearly 10 years. This is what you absolutely must understand before you buy a property in Italy. You may have already bought a property in your own country. In many English-speaking countries, we take for granted that our interests are so well protected it's very difficult to unknowingly make a mistake. Italy is a member of the European Union, and as such we can assume certain rights and similarities. The most important tip for anyone embarking on a property purchase in Italy is to not make any of the same assumptions that you would do in your own country. Do not assume that the typical process is naturally geared to protect your interests. Do not assume that anyone respects the laws that are in place. And do not assume that rectifying a mistake will be a quick and cost-free task. And, just as you wouldn't do at home, do not believe anything your estate agent or your vendor tells you. The real estate agent cannot provide legal advice and may not be in possession of all of the facts about a property. An agent is only entitled to brokerage fees if the transaction is closed successfully, so might not disclose or complete information about a property to a potential buyer. When you start searching for a property in Italy, you will find lots of helpful real estate agents and any number of stunning properties. The desire to get hold of the keys immediately is understandable. However, as you may know from your own country, certain checks need to be done, a contract needs to be drawn up, and money needs to be deposited. The common assumption made by many foreign buyers is that the notaio is equivalent to a solicitor or an attorney. This is absolutely not the case. The notaio is an impartial public officer licensed by the Italian state, so they cannot specifically protect the interests of one of the parties involved in the transaction. Parties will generally only meet the notaio on the completion, when, in many cases, it will be too late to rectify any mistakes. It may be possible that a property has undisclosed debts attached to it, or, as is often the case, the previous owner has made illegal changes to the property. If you don't have your own lawyer, no one will visit the property on your behalf to check, so you could easily end up buying an illegal property. At this point, you will need to throw a substantial amount of money at the property, and your lawyers will need to try and resolve the problem for you. A small amount of due diligence at the beginning of the process with someone who speaks your language will make it all plain sailing later on. Crucially, if the person who draws up and checks the contract is not working in your best interests, you are taking a risk in signing and submitting your cash deposit. The Italian language version of the contract is the one that legally prevails. You can, of course, read and check your own contract, but again, this is very much dependent on your grasp of the Italian language, or in your trust in the translator that you assign. You are not obliged to employ the services of a lawyer. However, without a lawyer, you're purchasing a property entirely without independent representation. Not only that, you're choosing not to protect yourself legally in a country with one of the slowest and most complex judicial systems in Europe. Remember that the only person without financial interest in the completion of the property is your lawyer. Always consider your conflict of interest arising from those you speak to. In Italy, prevention is always better than the cure, and infinitely cheaper. For more detailed information on any topic raised in this video, please visit our website at www.detuliolawfirm.com. Alternatively, you can contact us directly at info@detuliolawfirm.com.